Hey everybody, this is the weekly video commencing on Monday, June the 24th, 2024. Some of you have sent me emails asking, where are the weeklies? Are you okay? I was traveling, taking a much needed break, but I'm back, and thanks for asking. On Monday, the 24th, the moon is in quirky, more impersonal but futuristic Aquarius. The moon represents more of the emotional tone and reactions. The moon will be in harmony with expansive, optimistic Jupiter from about 8 to 9 a.m. Pacific time. Now, this could be that first part of the day. Emotionally, the moon, you're getting good news, you're making travel plans, you're updating your website, you're doing some marketing, teaching, publishing, taking a class, all under the domain of Jupiter. But by mid-afternoon, around by 4 Pacific time, now that emotional moon in more impersonal Aquarius will be in a square or a hard angle to Mars, fiery, impatient Mars. You might be seeing some irritability out in the outer world. You might hear it on the news. It's making you stressed out. You're walking, you're driving, and you might be seeing people arguing, but it's not doesn't necessarily have to be connected with you. But this too shall pass. And you wouldn't want to schedule an important meeting, especially a personal meeting, with that moon Mars. You might get into an argument. Now, before I get through the rest of the week, if you enjoy these kinds of videos and would like to see more of them, click like and subscribe, and don't forget to click on the notification bell so you can receive the latest postings. And if you go into the description box underneath the video, you'll find direct links to book an astrology reading or check out my 2-question offer. All right, Tuesday, the 25th, moon continues in eclectic, more humanistic Aquarius. But the moon will be squaring or hard angle. That's the only significant event, planetary event, around 3:30 p.m. Pacific time. Uranus is the ruler of Aquarius. Uranus is liberating, progressive, rebellious. But when the public emotional moon is in hard angle to Uranus, there could be these emotional upsets, stresses. The positive, how can we turn lemons into lemonade, is the moon has a lot to do with our unconscious habits and patterns. And when it is triggered by Uranus, it may be upsetting, but it may upset you that your limiting bad habit is hurting you, and it could be a wake-up call to break the habit. Then the moon goes void, of course, at about 3:30 p.m. Pacific time until 11:08 p.m. Pacific time. When the moon goes void, of course, as I mention every week, it's no longer making aspects to other planets, so there's no energy. The energy is flat and unproductive. So you wouldn't want to start a new project with the moon void, of course, because you're going to have to put so much effort into it to accomplish your goals, or it's just going to fall flat. It's great for sticking to the routine, sticking to what you've been doing, good for resting, good for introspection. Wednesday, now the moon is in empathetic, sensitive Pisces, and it's going to be in harmony with nurturing a family-oriented Cancer. Because Pisces and Cancer are water signs, they're very compatible, and when they're in harmony with each other, all is well in the world, with all things considered. Mercury, discerning, decision-making Mercury, will be trining or in harmony with pragmatic business Saturn. It's a really good day for business, for negotiations, for feeling more practical and secure. The late morning, 11 a.m., 12 noon Pacific time, that sensitive Pisces moon will be in a hard angle to optimistic, expansive Jupiter. Whenever there's a planet, especially the moon, is in a stressful angle to Jupiter, Jupiter is one of the luckiest energies in the chart. But when it's being stressed, it could be too much of a good thing, too indulging, spending too much, or you're expecting too much. It's overinflated expectations sometimes. This too shall pass. You'll be really happy. Calm down. On the 27th, on Thursday, the moon continues in sensitive Pisces, but it's going to cross over, as it does every 27, 28 days, Saturn. And restricted, limiting, responsible taskmaster Saturn, around 8 to 9 a.m. Pacific time. When the moon once a month crosses over Saturn, it could be a couple of hours of taking on a lot of responsibilities. On another level, there might be some emotional separations. The Saturn is the separations. You could be feeling detached, worried, concerned. But a couple of hours later, by 11 a.m., 12 noon, that empathetic, sensitive moon in Pisces will be in harmony with communication Mercury. Moon to Mercury is really favorable for talking about your feelings. Mercury, the talking, the moon, your feelings. It's good for writing, good for expressing yourself. But if you were feeling disconnected or a little depressed, overwhelmed by 8, 9 a.m., by 11 a.m., with the moon in harmony with Mercury, it's as if whatever misunderstandings, whatever assumptions you were making, it's resolving to, in a beneficial way. By 6 p.m., 7 p.m. Pacific time, now that sensitive Pisces moon will be in harmony with progressive eclectic Uranus. This can be an hour or two. There can be some emotional surprises and excitement. It's all positive. It's especially positive if you're trying to get out of an old rut, trying something new. That's the positive of Uranus. On Friday, Venus, pleasure-seeking, romantic, creative Venus, will be in harmony, a sextile, to assertive, aggressive Mars. Venus-Mars for that day, as we're going into the weekend, can stimulate your libido, your desire for romance. It can be a real strong desire to go out to a concert, to dancing. That's all that playful, romantic Venus-Mars energies. Could be some passion with a creative expression. And in the mid-afternoon, the moon, which started Friday in Aries, when the moon was in Pisces, it's more reflective energies, more kind, empathetic energies. When the moon once a month goes into Aries, that Aries initiates new projects, it takes the lead, it's more external, where the Pisces moon was more internal or reflective. So that moon in fiery, independent Aries will be in harmony, a sextile, to Jupiter mid-afternoon. As we're going into the weekend, as that pleasurable Venus is in harmony with assertive Mars, the moon Jupiter, you could be making all kinds of plans, It's good for traveling. It's good for marketing, publishing. Emotionally, you're going to be feeling very upbeat and outgoing. And the Venus-Mars, you're ready for a party. You're ready for romance. Saturday, the moon continues in Aries. It's a big day astrologically. First of all, Mercury, discerning, intelligent, communication, Mercury will be in harmony, a sextile, to Uranus. Uranus is very futuristic. Mercury-Uranus can trigger a lot of original thinking out of the box, new perspective, very favorable for learning astrology. Mercury's learning, Uranus astrology, or technology, or you might be going down the rabbit hole if you've got a new technical device or new software, or you're putting up a website, and your mind, Mercury, is coming up with all these ideas and going a mile a minute. Very favorable. The other big planetary event on Saturday the 29th is responsible taskmaster Saturn is retrograding in the sign of Pisces. It retrogrades once a year, and it remains retrograde till November the 15th, 2024. So whatever the lessons of Saturn was trying to bring you as it was moving through Pisces, so what house is Pisces in your chart? Saturn rules Capricorn. What house does Capricorn rule in your chart? And those will start to describe the lessons and responsibilities that you have to pay attention to. And when it goes retrograde, it can be a time of where it's getting stuck, or it's slowing down, or it's time to really start reflecting on everything you've been having to really learn about and think about. But because Mercury, intelligent communication Mercury, is sextiling in harmony with progressive and genius Uranus, you're coming up with all these exciting new ideas that the Saturn retrograde can now start pulling you deep within to, instead of keep moving forwards, is to really research it, study it, reflect it on the domains of life of where Pisces falls in your chart, since Saturn is transiting through Pisces and Saturn rules Capricorn. What house sector does Capricorn represent in your chart? Sunday the 30th, as we go into the 30th Pacific time, the moon is going void of course. It's only going to remain void of course till 5 a.m. Pacific time. Again, the energy is flat and unproductive. It's Sunday morning anyhow. A lot of you are sleeping and resting. But at 5 a.m. Pacific time, the moon goes into Taurus for 2.5 days. The moon again represents the public mood and tone and reactions. In Aries, it's very impatient, fiery, aggressive. Let's go for it. When the moon is in Taurus, Taurus is more calming, more steady, more patient, because it's an earth sign. When the moon was in Aries, it's a fire sign. I want to thank you for watching. If you like information on how to book an astrology reading or check out my 2-question offer, visit my website at gardino.co. That's .co. Until next week, be safe and well.